a sense of urgency in the air. That's what's caught on my mind this morning. It feels like to me, I'm a feeler person, a sensing person, like an empathic person, intuitive person, and you may be like that also. Hello, Susan B. Honey. Do you feel a sense of urgency in the air as if the the tide or that big tidal wave is almost ready to hit the shore? Um, that's the only way I can describe it. Like a massive, massive tidal wave is coming and it's near the shore. And we know what happens when massive tidal waves come. They inundate everything. It just literally poof. And you have only, if you're still there, you ain't gonna be able to get out of harm's way when that massive tidal wave comes. So I was thinking that this morning, there's like a sense of urgency in the air, an urgency to get done whatever you can get done with the time that is remaining, because time isn't on our side at all. It's not. And it's not just a sense of urgency to get things done while you got the time. It's why you got the resources, and why the resources, while the resources are there, if it is physical, if it's physical, um, something physical that you want to do, and or other than spiritual, right here, you're running out of time, big time, in here to prepare yourself to gather as much information and knowledge, if you feel that, as you can, right inside here, and let it be embedded within you so you have a little bit extra to go with whatever it is that you may be feeling you've got to gather, or something like that, you all. Hello, Naruka. Oh, time is very short. It's extremely short, and time has like it's like timelines have shifted for some people. Some people, they're on a different timeline for sure, because their life has flipped around, totally flipped around, and they find themselves in a different situation. They do, and some people's situation is a whole lot better than their situation was before. So time has literally turned around for the better for them. And I think that's wonderful, though, for those people who you can truly say that these are the best times of your life because of your current situation, that you never dreamed that you would have the life that you had, um, because things turned around for the worse. So we really do. We got two things that are happening. And even though you may say, this is the best time of my life right here, I can't believe that I'm able to enjoy my life with with a loved one, or, in relationship wise and things like that, that you can't believe that this happened to you and the world is falling apart and that you're not going to be alone. That's remarkable. That's like a miracle. If you are someone who's been like in a situation, as if, I thought I nothing would ever turn around for me, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens and your life turns around, and you have someone there for you during this difficult time that we are all facing. Every single one of us are facing this great big wheel of time, this great big change that is occurring across the whole earth. No one is immune, and even if you are well off financially, or well off in your health, and you got it all together, you too can look around and you can see the effect that is happening on everyone around the world. You can see it. You can see it in the headlines. You can see that sudden change, that tone that has occurred across the whole earth. In every country on the earth, it's like it's literally flipped. In some countries, the tide has already started coming in, and it comes in waves, like two great big, like, you know how tidal waves, you got the first wave, you got the second wave, you got the third wave, and boom, like earthquakes too, you all. Some people, even though, you know, you wouldn't think, well, they don't see nothing, I'm sure they do see something, and they don't like it either. But what are they to do? You can't change something that is so massive, that's occurring on a global scale. I can't change it. Thank you, Naruka. I can't change it on a personal level, on a little teeny micro level. I mean, I can do my part to do it. You can do your part. But in the great big scope of life, this thing that's taking place, it is massive. It's on a global scale. It's worldwide. It's a great big micro scale, macro scale, and it's beyond our physical control. But we can do what we can do individually. We can. Um, we can raise awareness. We can prepare. We can encourage other people to prepare. Really, this is so important on the inside of you, this spiritual you, because this is right here is going to carry you. Whatever's on the inside of you, it's going to make it or break it. It is. You don't want to break because you're not strong enough on the inside. You do not want to break. You want to build that person up on the inside. You do. Um, the Great Awakening, Nasera Gesera. With that Nasera Gesera, I don't think it's all that people think it is. It may be passed off as being wonderful and stuff, but there's so much more to it. There is a lot of strings attached to it. And we've got to be prepared for that. And there's people who know that there are a lot of strings attached. There are. But we can't stop whatever's coming. We can't stop any of it. We just got to weather the storm, weather the tidal wave. We got to brace ourselves for what's coming, because it's coming. And it's going to have one heck of a punch when it gets here. And some countries are already feeling it. They are, because it doesn't just happen like in one area of our lives, like one segment of our lives. It happens in all areas. It's like when that water comes in, that big tidal wave comes in, it goes everywhere, everywhere. It just spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads, and it washes away everything um, till there's nothing left. It's kind of like a cleansing, tidal waves, but yet it's massive destruction on a massive scale, because everyone is affected, even those who may have like high houses, uh, thinking they're safe. It can still like wash over right underneath. It can knock them down. It can do it all, you all. It can. Um, Tea, honey, you got a bank holiday. You never knew I would get beer last night. I don't know what your beer got to do with the bank holiday. Is it normal for you to have a bank holiday, Tea, honey? Is it? Um, it's an urgency. No, I didn't misspell that. Is that misspelled on here? Let me tell you something. If that is misspelled on here, the AI went back and did it, or somebody else did it. I didn't do it. I made sure it was spelled right when I put that title on there. So thank you for letting me know. I guess when I end this video, I can go fix that. Am I surprised that they spelt it wrong after I spelt it right? My words were changed. I'm not surprised one bit. I'm not at all. Um, yeah. Oh, super tired of hogwash. Um, let's see this. Trust nothing at face value. Yeah, what good is good. What is good is bad, and what is bad is good. Unfortunately, it is. Let me flip this phone up like this. Sandra, honey, no, I did not do that on purpose. Does it make for a good headline spelled wrong? Um, I don't like spelling things wrong. I really don't. Hello there. Um, oh, it was cute. Yeah. And with sense of urgency, it's like overwhelming because it's impossible for you to get everything done that you want to get done, or you think that you need to get done. It can get overwhelming because it can be very daunting. It's like trying to prepare for a major battle against a massive army, and you don't have the the manpower to do so and or the equipment to face it. You don't have the firepower, you don't have everything you need because it's way out of your reach. It's like that, preparing for war against a massive army. And not to mention we got interdimensional warfare that's taking place too on a massive scale. And there's people who know about that. If you don't buy into that, that's fine. But that exists. That exists. These demons, angels, um, demonic spirits and stuff like that, they too are part of a great big massive army. That How do you prepare for something like that? Spiritual warfare. You better have your spiritual armor on. You better, because that's very tough to go against. It is. You got to be strong spiritually on the inside. You know, and the scripture says, put on the full armor of God that can protect you. But you know what? You can't put that armor on and think, put it on, I'm protected, because the spiritual world on that opposing army knows what's underneath that armor that you got on too. They know whether or not they're going to be able to get through to you. They know whether or not if you're strong enough. They can feel it, they can see it, all of that. So yeah, we've got this. What's coming against us? It's literally every facet of our lives, and in many different forms. It is. Could you imagine like all these hordes and hordes and hordes of interdimensional armies coming on a massive tidal wave? As that tidal wave hits landfall, and then all of these hordes and hordes of demonic things, and or picture that in the sky, coming from the sky, and then boom, or coming up out of the earth. I know that's kind of hypothetical, but yeah, some things it's hard to prepare for. It is. Um, Antonia, everything I share is public, and there are people who do share my stuff in a very kind way. There are people who do not share my stuff in a very kind way, and I don't like that. When someone shares my stuff to trash me, and I find out, I don't like it. I don't mind if people do share. I don't. And I don't like it when they take my work and pass it off as theirs either. I don't. That's the drawback when you get on a social media and you're public and you share a lot of stuff. There are people who, of course, they share your, but yeah. Good morning, you all. If you're just tuning in, do you feel a sense of urgency? And someone told me, Gina, you spelled urgency wrong. I didn't spell it wrong. When I put my title in, it was spelled right. My words got changed by something. And it's okay. It is, you all. So I feel the sense of urgency, but I'm not panicking. I'm not. I'm very calm in my spirit, and I know that I'll get done whatever I need to get done. I may not get done everything I want to get done, but I'll get done what I need to get done, and it will be enough. It will. Just like you, you'll get done whatever you need to get done, and it'll be enough. You may think, well, it may not be enough. It will be enough. It will. Um, because you do not want to panic. You don't want to stress out, but you don't want to do nothing. You don't. Thank you, Shalia. You don't want to sit there and do nothing when you look around and you see the sense of urgency and you see what's happening in the world, every single country in the world being affected by it. And you shouldn't just sit there and say, well, I don't have to do nothing. I'll go to so-and-so's house. What if you can't make it to so-and-so's house? What if the roads are shut down? Society has collapsed? I don't like what ifs, but no, nothing is written in stone. Nothing says that you're going to be able to flee at that hour, because that may not be possible. You better take care of yourself, you all. You better take care of yourself. Um, and, had the means to prepare. And they saw the world going to HE double hockey sticks, and yet they know people should prepare, but they themselves decide they don't want to spend their money doing that. They don't want to spend their time doing that because someone else is preparing, and then they'll just go over there. That's wrong. If you look at scripture, you have the 5 virgins that were wise. You had the 5 virgins that were foolish with their lamps and oil. When it came time for the bridegroom, the foolish ones told the wise ones, give us some of your oil. You know what they were told? Go and buy from those who sell, because there may not be enough for us and you. And so while those foolish virgins went away to buy, the bridegroom came, and then that was the end of it. They did prepare. They wanted what the others had, and it was too late. It was too late. Um, totally too late. Coffee time. You can have some coffee. I don't think coffee tastes the way it used to taste. I don't. Um, I try to drink coffee every once in a while in the mornings. I thought, no, I can't, because it doesn't taste as good like it used to. Tea, honey, you never bitch about you. I showed my father you, and I was, look, she's lovely. Ah, my goodness gracious. Yeah, that's okay, you all. It is in the big scope of life. But you all, if you feel a sense of urgency in the air and you feel prompted within your spirit to do something, please do it. Don't panic. Get done what you feel would be most needful for you to have or do. And the prices of goods are going up through the roof, if you can still get what you wanted. Yeah, we are in the end times. We're in the end of the good times. And it's another chapter getting ready to be written, because this chapter is coming to an end, this chapter of life. And whoever's writing it, I don't think you can edit it. The only way it gets edited is if it's done by the one who's writing it. Yeah, give us strength to get through the troubled times, because that's really what we're going to need right here. It wouldn't do you no good if you went out and gathered like whatever you needed, and then when the massive tidal wave came in, you panicked, you stressed out, you couldn't think straight, and then you got to have it together on the inside of here. You can't be stressing out and panicking and stuff like that. saying, oh, I didn't know any of this. Well, if you are watching the news and maybe you look at some social media and you look around to see what people are sharing, what is being shared throughout the media, it would be quite clear to you that our world has been turned upside down and things aren't the same. There's a different spirit that has taken over this world, and it has. It's a different spirit that has taken over this world. It's like the prince of this world is here. The prince of this world is here now. And I don't think it's the good prince. It's not. It's the bad prince. Um, and when I say prince, I mean like, that's powerful. It's very, very powerful. Like the prince of darkness is getting ready to sit on his throne. And he's got a throne and he's got an army. And his army is massive. And it is able to spread all over the whole entire earth, in every country, every province, everywhere. Yeah, that prince that's here, that will one day sit on its throne, he's not playing. He's not playing. And it's like a prince of darkness, because it's not for the better of the people. It's for complete control and world dominion. Dominion over the whole earth. It's like in the movies, but it ain't a movie. You're living it right now. And you're going to see it. And no, this is not no fear tactic. It's none of that, you all. You can sense it. You can see it. You can see it. You can sense it. The yellow rose of Texas. Yeah. Fallen angels are coming for the Armageddon. I don't know about that. I don't. But those ships, they're here. They're interdimensional. And there's other ships that are here too. There are. But I don't get that feeling about the ships that I took pictures of. Some do, but I don't. I just call them light ships. And I know there's thousands upon thousands of them when they came in. And they're in our skies, but they're not the only ships here. They're not the only power that's here. There's other powers that are here also. Too much technology and too much pride. Pride it brings forth your downfall. That's right. There's good and bad in all races of beings. There is. One day there is an army of light that's going to sweep over this planet and rid it of the darkness once and for all, and the darkness knows it. The darkness has been preparing for that day. When that day comes, it's been preparing, it's been building its army, it's been getting things set up for when that great army of light does come, because it knows it doesn't stand a chance, but it's going to fool itself into thinking, I can beat it, I can beat it. It ain't going to be able to beat it, but it's going to take out a lot of humanity in the process until that day arrives. That's right, Jenny B. You've been so thirsty for the past couple of days. Could you imagine being that army, knowing that you got all your plans and stuff, but you know that you're not going to be able to complete them because it's already been foretold that you're going to be stopped. And that's why it makes you really angry, because you know you're going to lose that battle. And because you know you're going to lose it, even though you hope you win it, you come out in a rage, set out to destroy anything and everything in your path, on your path, until that day comes. Can you imagine how angry the Prince of Darkness is, knowing that his time is coming also? Can you imagine how enraged he is, knowing that he can't do anything about it, but yet he can do something? He can go after the inhabitants of the earth, certain inhabitants. He can destroy the earth itself. That's how angry he is, just like, boom, destroy anything that has any link to the army of light. And that's called vindictiveness. And it is not a good trait to have when you're vindictive like that, hateful, spiteful, enraged. But that's one of the tactics. Do whatever you can. Take out as many as you can. Destroy what you can, because you know your time is coming. That's what armies do, you all. They do. Um, if you know that an invading force is going to be coming, whether it be good or bad, some people, in certain war tactics, they burn down their own homes, so there's nothing left when that other force comes. They destroy whatever they can, these other armies, so that there's nothing left for the army that's coming. It's both sides, you all. So there is like a tidal wave coming. There is a sense of urgency to be prepared on the inside, spiritually, big time. And it's hard, you all. It's hard. It's hard to ground yourself on the inside of here and try to build up that inner spirit, that inner warrior within you, with everything that's going on in the world, with all the distractions that's going on. It's really hard to focus, and I think that's one of the tactics too. It's extremely hard to focus and getting yourself right on the inside, and keeping yourself motivated in all of that, even though you know you got that anchor within you right there, that you got that strong tower within you, that light that no one can put out. But it's so hard. It's really hard, you all. It is. It's not impossible, but with everything that's going on in the world, it's hard to really do that. And there's not very many people who can stand in their own body right now and say, I can face whatever's coming my way. Um, there's not very many people that can say that with absolute confidence, because their confidence has been shaken. You do have all the strength you need within you. And I know that it's hard, and I know that it's tough, and I know that it's scary, but you do inside of here. You're not standing alone when you stand up against that darkness. You're not. I'm standing there with you. A whole lot of other people are standing there with you. We're holding that line. We're holding that light. We're keeping that light burning inside of us, okay, because it's part of the greater light. The greater light that's going to come, that great army of light that's going to sweep over this planet, this plane, this physical plane, and rid it of the darkness once and for all. And the darkness knows it. And that's why the darkness is giving it everything it's got to cause as much destruction to humanity and the earth as possible. They know time has been sped up, because it literally feels like time has been sped up, because its time is short. So there is a sense of urgency in the air. There's a sense of urgency in my spirit. I'm sure there's a sense of urgency in a lot of other people's spirit to be prepared and get ready. Stand your ground. There's a sense of urgency, because the Prince of Darkness, the Prince of this world, is here, and he's going to be sitting on his throne. And when he does, he's not going to put up with any dissension at all. He's going to go after everything and everyone who opposes. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love, you have a wonderful rest of your day.